I now invite the Honourable Member for Banjul North.
Thank you very much. I can say, Jërëjëf, Honourable Speaker, His Excellency the Vice President, and the entire ministers present. I will say Jarama to you all for being here with us until now, and patiently for that matter. This is a clear manifestation that we are not only in this debate to talk to ourselves, but to talk to the authorities that we believe will go back to their various ministries and make sure that there is improvement in whatever concern we raise here as honorable members. Honorable Speaker, I will also want to join my honorable colleague to seize this opportunity and say thank you to Banjul North for giving me the mandate to better represent them in this parliament. But I believe I cannot go further without also thanking the former members of Banjul North, more particularly the last member, that is Honorable Usman Silla, my mentor. I believe it is also very important for us to understand that Gambia is youthfully populated. And in understanding that, we have great opportunity in order to harness demographic dividend. But in doing so, we must also understand the tools that we put together in order to harness demographic dividend in this country. And one of the most fundamental tools is education, which is very important. I have seen efforts by the Ministry of Basic Education and also higher education. I would say Jarama to you, ministries, that you are doing all what you can to see that the Gambian people are well educated. But I also have a concern when it comes to the Arabic or Islamic schools in the country. I believe the Ministry of Basic Education needs to accelerate in terms of support so that we can have more students that will be of benefit for the nation as far as that is our interest as Gambians. Honorable Speaker, I cannot contribute in this important adjournment debate without talking about the most talked about Banjul Rehabilitation Project. Indeed, before going further, I will also want to seize the opportunity to sympathize with the affected families during the recent flash flood that happened in the city of Banjul. And I believe government is willing to put up plans that will always mitigate such a situation to reoccur as far as the city of Banjul is concerned. I will also want to seize the opportunity to inform the Vice President that the affected families, more particularly in Banjul North and beyond, that is the entire Banjul, they are still in need of support. Because as I am talking to you, some families do approach us and tell us that we still don't have food or enough food to eat, which is indeed a concern. We still have families that approach us and tell us that we cannot even put money together to buy uniforms and school bags for our children to go back to school, which is indeed a concern. And I want His Excellency, the Vice President, to put this into consideration by working with NDMA to see how best we can remedy this situation, which is indeed a big concern for the people of Banjul. Going further, I believe it is also very important, and it is indeed a very big concern for the people of Banjul, more particularly when it comes to the recent implementation of the Banjul Rehabilitation Project. The people of Banjul have concern when it comes to the reconstruction of that main ring canal. That is indeed very important as far as this project is concerned. We want to see the reconstruction of this canal because we don't want anything that happened this year to repeat itself next year. Because to be honest, if it happens, I'll be very serious. The people that will be affected will go to the minister's house, that is the Minister of Transport, and occupy his house, to make it clear. And I believe this is something that we must avoid. And I believe it can be avoided as far as our works are concerned. Honorable Speaker, I cannot also contribute without talking about health, which is indeed one of the most fundamental tools when it comes to harnessing demographic dividend. Health, in this situation, I will be a little bit biased by considering the people of Banjul. I will also want to engage or seize this opportunity to engage the Honorable Minister of Health to bring back our emergency unit. We understand that there is construction that is going on at the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, but we still want the emergency unit to come back to Banjul because it is indeed a burden. Just yesterday, somebody passed away from my constituency. May her soul continue to rest in perfect peace. But we have to take the body to Nemban for them to make sure that she passed away, then we bring her to the mortuary. That is indeed a burden. Let's say if there is a situation whereby the family cannot afford to take the body to Nemban for the doctor to confirm that he or she passed away, what will be the fate of that family that very moment? I think it is very important for your ministry to consider this as soon as possible, to see to it that the emergency unit of Banjul is brought back to the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital. Honorable Speaker, I will want to inform this important gathering, or August Assembly, that the Ministry of Health have been very helpful in terms of collaborating with the local authorities of Banjul to fumigate that city, which indeed will always help the city to get rid of mosquitoes and more particularly, I can say, different insects, which is indeed a concern. I also want to seize this opportunity again to inform him that it is important for him to put together his team again for them to come with the same exercise because the people of Banjul are in need. As we all aware that we are coming to the end of the rainy season. And normally what happens, we have stagnant waters and the mosquitoes will always seize the opportunity to lay eggs. So in doing so, this is the right time to fumigate the city of Banjul. Honorable Speaker, moving forward again, I will now want to talk about the ministry that is dear to my heart, local government. Honorable Minister, thank you very much for your energy because I've been consulting with the councillors within the city of Banjul and understanding that part of your familiarization tour, you had a lot of tangible discussions that you had with them, which we believe it will not only be a dream, but turn to a reality. That is what we are expecting. But in that regard, we are still very concerned in terms of the erection of stores within the residential zone of the city of Banjul. My honorable colleague talked about the issue of resident and also rent. it is indeed a very big concern. We want to see regulations so that we can avoid traffic congestions and other things that will move people not to have the opportunity to reside in the city, instead to move to the combos, because there is no resident within the city of Banjul. Because all resident areas are turned into stores, which is indeed a very big concern for the people of Banjul. And I believe you will take it up with your Department of Physical Planning to see to it that in terms of making sure that there are regulations to make sure that there is at least minimal construction of stores in the city of Banjul. And if there is any construction of stores that is going to take place in the city of Banjul, the upstate can be a form of a resident where people can reside, which is indeed a very big concern. In that regards also, we are waiting for you to bring up the Local Government Act for review, which is indeed very important. Because there are a lot of challenges that the city councils, or the councils I can say, are currently going through. Because one of the elements that has to do with the subvention, that is the 25% of the development fund that they normally give to the ministry, I think it is high time we start fulfilling it, because it is for the betterment of all area councils to see themselves that development is taking place, and we are seeing central government contributing to that development to make sure that it is a reality. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, I think the minister have just stepped out, but I believe it is important understanding the issue when it comes to young people on the street. It is indeed a very big concern, more particularly the young people in Banjul. I will just share a scenario that recently happened within my constituency. Understanding that young people sit outside, use illicit drugs, is not moving the community forward. What I decided, I sat down with my committee. We came up with an initiative by encouraging these young people to come up with football teams. And currently, as I am talking to you, we pay for their registration fees so that they can participate in the Junior Nawetan tournament in the city of Banjul. And this is at least giving us, making an impact in what we want to achieve. Because I can tell you, from the hours of 4 p.m. to 7 p.m., they all go to the beach. They don't have time to smoke. This, we believe, is an impact. But this is just what we have started, and we are willing to collaborate with the ministry to see how we can further engage the young people. For me, it's not about punishing them, taking them to mile 2. No, we need to support them. And how can we do that? We must be innovative in terms of creating employment and also creating opportunities so that they can see themselves as far as this country is concerned. Honorable Speaker, it will be very surprising that we, the people of Banjul, sometimes we face what we call shortage of water, because we have tank, that is water tanks, at the Brikama garage and also at Crab Island. But I can tell you, based on the research that I got, the tanks are not functioning for a time now. So I want to engage the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy to see how best they can engage NAWEC and see that there is a solution to that problem. The issue of Women Enterprise Fund is indeed a concern. I want us to move from another level. We have seen the support that the government is doing in terms of this fund. But what can 100,000 do for a group of people that are already 30 in number? Does it make sense, my honorable members? Give them, for God's sake, the required amount of money so that they will be able to make impact. And at the end of the day, the ministry will be able to produce success stories. But you cannot just give them 100,000 and you expect an impact as far as that fund is concerned. It cannot be. My time is up. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Member for Banjul North. I now invite the Honorable